Hey, what's up guys? Rob here, and welcome to another ATO video. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about this little guy right here. It's an adjustable fuel pressure regulator. So this right now is the highest rated best-selling Amazon fuel pressure regulator. Now back in the day we all used to get stuff like this off of eBay, and well, that stuff had some issues. Now I get it. Stuff like this, me and Marty did a whole discussion about parts and things you can save money on and that type of stuff, and I get it. You know, you want to get an expensive part, you want to get a name brand or something that you trust, or whatever the case may be. But stuff like this is decently simple and also has come a long way. So this fuel pressure regulator came in a whole kit, and we're going to go over that real quick here. But I just wanted to make a quick comparison though. The old knockoff fuel pressure regulators, that's what these guys are, right? These are the old style ones. They work almost exactly the same, right? Fuel goes into the side, comes out the bottom. It's adjusted by this screw on top. It's got a gauge on the front of it. But as you can tell, they're two very different units. One of the big issues that a lot of people had with these was they would come from the factory, and these screws would be loose, and this gasket would be bad, and the gauge sometimes would function, sometimes wouldn't. So you may end up into it with another gauge, and a lot of guys would just take these off, RTV it, and put it back together. So first thing I did when I got this one is check that, right? And these are all nice and solid and tight, and so I'm not even going to question it. We're going to install it. We'll see what happens. If it leaks, then, you know, I'm going to put some RTV in there. If not, we're good to go. I gotta be honest, it's a much nicer unit. This aluminum material is a lot nicerly is a word, right? It's much nicerly machined there, guy. But one of the things that I really liked about this kit, first and foremost, is this gauge right here. So if you can see that, let it zoom in there. This gauge is liquid filled, which is really nice. It saves the gauge from all the vibration and heat and stuff that are under the hood. This old gauge is not. So they would go out. They're cheap enough to replace, especially if you're getting the cheap knockoff ones. However, it is a hassle. Every once in a while you gotta replace that, and when you take that off, fuel comes out the whole 9 yards. So I'm pretty excited about that, first and foremost. Secondly, it came with these steel braided lines. Came with 3 of them. So a big one, medium, and a short one. And one of the things that really sold me on this kit was all the AN fittings. Now it's really nice. So we've got, well, I'm missing one over here. So there's 3 straight ones and 2 out. Actually, I stuck them on the car while I was screwing around. Let me grab those real quick. So, yeah, they're right here. So the AN fittings is what really sold me on it. I mean, look, in particularly, AN fittings are can be expensive. They're well worth it. They're absolutely phenomenal looking. They last. They're not going to wear out on you. They're not going to leak on you. Not going to burst on you. That type of stuff. So you're good to go there. So, sorry about that. But here's the two angled pieces, right? So the red is where they actually thread on. The black is where the hose is going to be at the end, and we'll make up our hoses ourselves. It also came with a right angle adapter, so you go from end to end wherever it may be. This is a universal kit, right? So it comes with a little bit of everything to try and adapt it to whatever your car may be. You will need some side pieces to go with it, but at a total price of $43 versus spending $180, $280 on a fuel pressure regulator, you can't really beat it, especially for something like mine where I'm not making thousands of horsepower. I'm not sending hundreds of PSI of fuel pressure through the system, right? Like, it's not something that I'm terribly concerned about. It's not something that's going to have a ton of stress put on it, or a lot of demand put on it. It's, you know, it's enough to replace the stock fuel pressure regulator and give me the room to adjust. So anyway, it also comes with a few more there's a ton of fittings in here, which I really love, because these AN fittings can be upwards of $20 a piece. whereas the whole kit was $40 and it came with all these. So this one in particular, this is for adapting to your regular rubber hose, right? So the rubber hose pushes on here, you clamp it down, it's got that nice little locking ring, and then you can thread it onto your AN fittings. I would suspect you would probably use this for your return line, because there's no other way to adapt in this kit to your return lines, your hard lines, that type of stuff. So I imagine that's what this is for. And then finally, it came with a whole lot of these guys. So obviously you're going to need 2 to go into this, right? One on the side, one on the bottom, right? You've got a plug on this side, so you can go, you know, these top parts are the inlets here, so you can go in this way or in this way depending on how your car's set up. They also have this listed as an output, but I don't know why you would want to bypass your fuel pressure regulator. Maybe you do. I don't know. Could be for something that I'm unaware of, some kind of adaptation that you need for your car or whatever. But anyway, so we got those 2. And then we got another 3 that are exactly the same. So we got 5 total of these style, where it's flat on the one end, it's supposed to go into a port, and it's got the that taper on the end there for when it actually goes in here, it seals nicely, right? And then we've got one that's got a really long thread in comparison, and one that has a really short thread. I'm assuming that maybe you would use this for a fuel filter adapter. You know, this short end maybe, or the long end, depending on your fuel filter, would screw in. But anyway, they tried to make it as universal as possible. And the final thing that it came with, and it was kind of silly, there's this mounting bracket. Just one hole here. Obviously these 2 screw in here and here. There's no screws for that. You will have to get screws for this. You know, go to your local hardware store, pick up some screws that thread in there. And then you really can't, it doesn't fit this way. There's a lip here. It has to go this way. I'm going to be making my own bracket. That's what it's going to come down to. Look, a lot of this stuff, the reason why it's so cheap is because they don't put any thought to what car it's going to go on. It just is a kit, and you have general parts in order to adapt it to your car, and it's going to need some modification. That's how all these universal things go. Just an FYI for your information. So one of the things you definitely are going to need, some vacuum line. Your standard fuel pressure regulator has a vacuum line, so does this right here. That's it. One of the things that I bought to help adapt is this little piece right here. So if you can see, this is a funny U-shaped, and it's threaded on the one end. So it threads into there, and this will adapt a 5/8 hard fuel line, your standard hard fuel line, to an AN fitting. All this stuff is -6 AN. There are several other types of connectors you can buy. So this one was $10, not that bad. That's what you'll usually find for small adapters like this, $5-10. They also have, if you've got quick release style connectors, they have adapters for that for your quick stop hard lines, right? The quick release type stuff. They have that as well. And other than that, so screws, some vacuum hose, and a hardline adapter. That's really all you need. A little bit of creativity, and we'll be good to go. I gotta be honest, I'm very impressed with the way that this is built, and it seems to be made with a good amount of quality. It's got a lot of good reviews, surprisingly, and yeah, we're gonna put it to the test. We're gonna see what it can do. I really can't wait to do the install. It's gonna be tons of fun. We're making up our own AN lines now. Also, they sell this stuff, and you can get a roll of the steel braided line too. So it's not easier than your quick, expensive part where it bolts right in. It's a little bit more difficult. However, you're going to save a ton, and I mean a ton of money doing it this way. I know for me personally, I did my own adapter for my fuel rail and to my fuel filter with the steel braided lines, the Dash 6 AN parts, and I spent, I want to say, around $50 to get all the parts individually. And the kits from most car places for your DSMs are running around $150, $200 for one line. Come on, I'm not gonna pay that. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section down below and all that good stuff. Like, share, subscribe, all that good crap. And join me and Marty live on Facebook. And it's constantly changing, but we do go live on Facebook. So join ATO on Facebook so you can be a part of those live videos and tell us what you think. Peace.